Hello. Okay, so I want to tell you this is an amazing little story. My uncle Gary, I think he's born in like 1927, 28, died in 2009. But he was he's a nice guy. I liked him very much. But he used to say, I think uh, my father's family kind of embraced, you know, whiteness in a way. They like my dad who became a psychiatrist, he kind of embraced German culture. I want to do like a little video about that. But the and went to the University of Heidelberg Medical School. I have a half German sister. I would always eat German food growing up. It's kind of interesting, but so my dad was in the United States Air Force, and I don't think he ever left the country. I think I want to say he was stationed in Wisconsin and also California. But my uncle Gary went to Germany, and this is really strange because he did not tell me this story until towards the almost like the end of his life. But it really struck me this the irony of the whole thing. So he said that he was in Germany right as the war was coming to an end, and they were, or maybe it was over. I guess he was in an African American unit, black unit, and if you ever read about the treatment of black soldiers at that time, is pretty horrifying. Like they were treated worse than German POWs. So like my uncle Gary is kind of interesting. Like he looks African American in the sense that he had like African American facial features, not like my uncle Joe who looked really white. My uncle Gary had light, very light, I mean pale skin, but at the same time, you could tell he's African American to me anyway. Even though I think he would rather not identify, because sometimes I would say, "Hey," it's just because I'm a little bit of a provocateur, but I would just try to like egg him. I'd say, "Hey, what do you think of our people?" I would refer to our people, meaning black people, and then he would say, "What do you mean our people? I'm Cherokee and Irish." But anyway, so he was in a black unit, and he just told me this story where this German woman saw the black unit in Germany, and she, I guess, was crying, or she was like really upset, and because apparently she had never seen a black person before in person up close, and she ran to my uncle Gary, not even know who he is, and started hugging him, like, "Help me, save me from these black people." So that, I mean, he told me this story. It must have been 2008 or seven, and occurred 60 years earlier, but he still remembered it, which I thought was interesting. It meant a lot to him, and yeah. So that, I guess the idea that she thought he was different, that you know, um, I don't know what she thought he was. But that gets to a more interesting point, and that is that we really are what we're perceived to be, not what because really it's all made up anyway. It's all racial identity is all a social construct anyway. So it does, and I've had this experience many times, like where it depends on what I'm perceived as and who's seeing me, and like in fact, when I've gotten a tan, like the same person will see me in the spring and then see me in the summer and then have a different perspective of what quote unquote what I am after a couple months. Like I'm the same exact person I was before, but then sees me differently when my skin gets darker, which is really interesting. But that was a just a fascinating anecdote. I have so many of them, and I'm gonna post these little quick little videos. But I think the point is that really, and then if you just think of the endless ironies here, right? So the German, right? The Germans believe they were well, Hitler and the Nazis and so forth. They were trying to create this master race, right? On the one hand, and they're killing Jewish people and others as well. And so here comes this African American unit, and they're segregated from the white units, right? So there's racism on both sides, but they're coming to save Jewish people and really the world from the evil of the Nazis, but we're not exactly innocent either. So isn't that ironic? And then so my Uncle Gary, then the woman's afraid of the people who are coming to end the war, But I guess maybe she thinks, but she's not afraid of the white soldiers because my Uncle Gary was still in uniform. So it's not that she's afraid of United States soldiers. She's afraid of black soldiers, black people, period. I'd be very curious to see how Germany's doing these days. And then there's a very interesting book. I can't think of this guy's name. I don't know why I always forget his name, but he's a professor at Yale University Law School. He's a historian professor, and he wrote about how the Nazis actually learned racism from the good old United States of America. Now, that is some interesting stuff. Check it out now. Actually, I should look up the dude's name. One moment, please. All right, let's see. By Yale Law School historian. Okay, his name was Professor James Q. Whitman. He examines the relationship between early 20th century American race law and the racial policies of Nazi Germany. It's called Hitler's American Model. That's some deep stuff, man. Check that out, really. All right, well, thank you. Peace.